Number 18 is kind of hard. A lot of my students end up getting this question wrong. And I think it has a little bit to do with just like, this paragraph seems to be all over the place. It also doesn't help that the first part of this sentence has a kind of difficult word, aesthetic, which you might not know what it means. And you can kind of tell just from the question that it's probably important for solving this and getting the right answer. So hopefully we'd be able to figure it out from context, because if it's stating it at the beginning of the paragraph, odds are good that they're going to repeat that idea throughout. So what does aesthetic mean? Let's see if we can find some clues here. The committee was charged with saving the tower without ruining its aesthetic. Skipping that so I don't get biased. The committee's first attempt to reduce the angle of the tower's tilt, placing 600 tons of iron ingots, molded pieces of metal, on the tower's north side to create a counterweight, was derided because the bulky weights ruined the tower's appearance. That's a clue. The attempt at a less visible solution, sinking anchors into the ground below the tower, almost caused the tower to fall. So we're talking about the way it looks, right? So without ruining its, let's say, beauty. And what do you know? That's what aesthetic means. So when we're asked to support the main point, we're looking for something that somehow talks about the tilt, talks about the way it looks. Those are things that we want to support. So if we just go through the choices here, choice A, which no one had yet managed to achieve, it's kind of like an irrelevant piece of information. Of course no one has achieved it, otherwise we wouldn't be trying to do it. So this is not really helpful. This is not advancing anything. It's not giving me information that adds to what we're saying, that supports what we're saying. Basically just tells me something that's common sense. Wouldn't be a problem if it had already been solved. Duh. Choice B. Although not everyone in the committee agreed completely about what the aesthetic was. Well, this is about the aesthetic. That's nice, but it seems to undermine the main point. They're trying to fix or preserve the aesthetic, or preserve the way the tower looks. If no one is agreeing on what looks good, that's a problem. How would you fix and save the tower if no one can agree what that would mean? Basically, this is another kind of irrelevant fact. I don't care that they couldn't agree on what it was. I want something about the tilt. I want something about the way it looks. These are important ideas that are not really being conveyed by choice B. Choice C, which meant somehow preserving the tower's tilt, that's a good sign, while preventing that tilt from increasing and toppling the tower. Well, if the tower fell over, that would probably ruin the way it looks. That's not a good thing. So that is a little bit less of a check than the first one, but I could see how that would fit. Let's look at D, which included the pristine white marble finish that has come to be widely associated with the tower's beauty. So a lot of stuff about beauty, but they don't talk about the tilt. And so it's not really supporting the main point, which is that the tilt is a big piece of this. They're trying to keep it from falling over, but also let the tilt stick around. And so D is just like a random fact about the beauty without mentioning the tilt. And so C is a better fit. It definitely mentions the tilt, and it also kind of hints at the beauty by saying we don't want the tower to fall over. I think that's what makes this one hard, is it's really just hinting at the beauty part without actually coming out and saying it in a way that we might want. But that's okay. That's why we do these check marks and we try to break choices down into smaller decisions. And we say it's not just about one thing. It's about both things, the tilt and the beauty. And the more checks we have, the more confident we are in our answers. But sometimes we have to settle and just kind of go with the best answer, even if it's not a perfect answer.